A big weekend for EKU sports. Football, soccer, and volleyball all get their first wins of the season. And for two of those teams, new head coaches get their first win as head coaches on the college level. And we'll begin with soccer. Sam Eastis is a senior from Carmel, Indiana, a member of the team. How good was it and how gratifying was it to beat a really good Milwaukee team to give Coach Cosinuke his first win?
Yeah, it felt so good. We've been going through a lot these past few games. We've been working as hard as we can and just not getting the results. But it just felt good, so good to finally just get that win and get him that win and the whole family. So.
In doing the broadcast on ESPN+, I had to mention, here we go into the 5th minute of the first overtime, because that's been where the roadblock's been. You've lost 2 games on the road, 2-1 in that 5th minute. You got through that 5th minute, and then you got the handball, and a teammate put it in, and that had to be a great moment. And boy, she scorched the top of the grass with that one, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Tell me about, were you on the sidelines at that point?
I was on the field. On the field.
Mm-hmm. So she counts behind her back. When I went back and looked at it on tape, she does that. Did you know it was going in when she took the shot?
Oh yeah, yeah. We practice PKs during practice, so we know kind of how each one of us will take a PK. So we know, like, when Kylie counts, it just calms her down, and then she gets ready and she smashes it. So we all have confidence in her to take it and finish it. So.
And we wouldn't have gotten to Kylie Thompson's golden goal if it wasn't for Billy Clark in goal. She had 7 saves, and I know the one she saved with her left foot was probably the nicest one against a great forward for Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, she had a fantastic game, and I think it just is nice to have her in goal. Like, I feel like we are confident in her and making those saves, so it's been really good just to see that and then just work together as a family and just come out with that result. So
you go into that game 0-3. You play a Milwaukee team that had the 2nd best winning percentage in all of Division I soccer over the past 2 seasons, behind only Stanford, who won the national championship in 2017. But you didn't see intimidated as a team against them. Was there a feeling of confidence, even though the results may have not merited what you were showing on the field?
I think so. I think we try not to think too much about how other teams are doing. We really just try to focus on ourselves and what we're doing. And so a lot of what we have been doing has been a learning curve and just trying to get used to the new playing style and everything. But I think we just were confident in ourselves and just wanted to get that win. And so we weren't focused too much on what they have done in past games. So.
Talking with senior Sam Eastis of the women's soccer team. Back in high school, you played soccer, but you also played the other football a little bit, junior varsity, and then even some varsity place kicker for the boys team, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
And probably the moment you remember most was in a pro stadium, Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis, close to your hometown. Tell me about that moment.
It was amazing. It felt so cool to be out there and on that field and thinking about that's where the Colts play. Like, I watched them pretty much every Sunday, so it's just very cool to be out there and get a point for my team. So.
You know, sooner or later, and I think it's sooner than later, there's going to be a female kicking in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's coming.
I think so, for sure.
You went to the Women's World Cup final this year. Tell me about that experience. That had to be amazing.
It was amazing. It was so cool just to be in France, first of all, and then it was cool just to be in that environment and atmosphere of just like everyone just cheering on the USA, just chanting and screaming, and then being in the game. And my family and I, we were behind one of the goals, so we were right there with Rapinoe and everyone. It was so cool just to experience.
What do you think that team has done for women's athletics and especially women's soccer in this country, and not your generation, but the next generation?
I think they have done a lot. I think they are fantastic role models. I think each and every one of them are in their own way. So I think it's really cool to have them be center stage and have all eyes on them. And I think it's been fantastic for their fan base and just getting more fans, even at their club levels.
And finally, you're an elementary education major about to graduate after this year, and some study abroad ahead for you.
Yes, I hope so. I plan to go to Ireland, Dublin, Ireland, to student teach next semester. So.
Sounds great. Good luck the rest of the season. A lot of big games coming up.
Thank you.
All right, Sam Eastis with us of the soccer team. Here's what's ahead. A couple of games at home. They'll be at home on Sunday against Northern Kentucky, who's already beaten 2 conference champions, including Murray State of the OVC already this year. And then a big one next Thursday, September 12th, against the University of Kentucky. We'll talk about the other game they call football. It'll be the pigskin variety when we meet the defensive coordinator of EKU when Inside EKU Sports continues.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
Welcome back to the show. We talk EKU football now, off to a rip-roaring win over Valparaiso last Thursday night, 53-7. Kurt Mattix is the defensive coordinator, and you got a lot of guys on the field, 33 defensively, 33 offensively. Played offense or defense, then add in the special teams. So it was a good night to get everybody on the field. And what's your takeaway from that victory?
It was a great experience for everyone. It was not only was it our first win for the season, but like you said, we had a lot of young men getting an opportunity to play. They've earned that through fall camp, summer conditioning, fall camp, as well as preparation throughout Valpo. So it was great to have the opportunity to have a little bit of a lead throughout the game, to get an opportunity to see as many people as we could on the field. And when they had that opportunity, they made the most of it, which was also awesome to see.
Offense takes off with a 64-yard Daryl McCleskey run, and then the defense hits the field. And in less than 3 minutes, there's a 6-pointer from the defense. Corey Glass picks up a fumble caused by Steven Crowder on a sack. And with the try for 2 there in one of those 2 touchdowns, it's 15-0. Anytime the defense can score, that's a plum, isn't it?
There's no question, and that's something we emphasize as much as we can. And nationally, statistically, we talk about trying to get the ball back for our offense, turnovers, and we had some good success last year with that. And it's another emphasis that we're trying to do this year as well. We practice it every day. We get disappointed in practice or in games if we don't get that ball back. And if you're fortunate enough to have an opportunity to score, whether it be through an interception or a fumble recovery, like Corey's was, it's just a cherry on top of a Sunday.
Yeah, then Aaron Patrick, your defensive end, a senior, had a sack. He's at 18.5, 5th all-time at EKU, and I know scouts have come through practice. He's a good one.
No question, and his work ethic and what Coach Williams has done with him in transition a little bit. Coach Williams has coached a number of young men that have made it into the NFL, and he's given some AP some advice as far as how to go about his daily business, as far as preparation, as far as film study, as far as just attacking the day every day and not taking one day for granted. And he's done that, and welcome Coach Williams with open arms. And you can see it with his work ethic. You can see it in his desire to become a better technician. And his leadership skills as far as helping teach some younger guys. And on Thursday night we had some young defensive ends play, and AP's been a great influence on them as far as teaching them the way about how to go about and play the right way. So it's been awesome.
Against the University of Louisville next Saturday at 7 o'clock. So the good news is the Cardinals have 9 days between games, but there's another side to that. You had to prepare for a team that has a brand new coaching staff. You look at Appalachian State, where Coach Satterfield came from, along with his defensive coordinator and special teams guy, but you don't see his Louisville product until late Monday night. Correct. And I got a feeling, because of the way Jawan Pass ran the football, you had to change some things.
No question, and we took a lot, no different from our first week as far as preparation from Valpo. It was a new staff, and that was very similar to our approach this week versus Louisville as far as looking at Appalachian State. Now, there were some similar things, quarterback running the ball and things of that nature, but going into Louisville, watching them from the previous season, Puma has not ran the ball as much as he did, last night versus Notre Dame. So there was obviously some things that we're tinkering and adjusting and needing to do to put ourselves in the best position. But they're going to be a very powerful offense, so they were a very powerful offense last night, and we look for that opportunity. We're really excited about the opportunity to compete against them.
So he has the zone read, but he also has plays designed for him to run the ball. So you got to mark him pretty well in this game. That's going to be a challenge.
No question. And, we feel like within our base system, we have a lot of answers for that, but sometimes, that can be in a situation that's difficult on a particular player. And the more people we can get to the ball, the better we can. And again, effort and pursuit to the ball can really help, eliminate big runs and things of that nature. So we're going to try to continue to emphasize our fundamentals that we emphasize daily. But no question, he's going to be a tall test on Saturday night.
Okay, good luck to the Colonel Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Kurt Mattix, he is the defensive coordinator for EKU. It's EKU and the University of Louisville, 7 o'clock kickoff at Cardinals Stadium. We'll have the call at 100.7 WCYO, also on the TuneIn app, and you can catch us worldwide on the internet through EKUsports.com. So we've covered soccer and football. How about volleyball next when Inside EKU Sports continues?
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
Welcome back to the show. Volleyball got underway this past weekend, 3 games in the Charlotte Invitational. They'll go back to North Carolina this coming weekend for 3 more games in an Invitational in Asheville. And one of the players, really a coming out party for her freshman year, Abby Noll from Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. You had a great game. Were you nervous first 3 college games?
Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking to be in front of the crowd and try and, help my teammates out for the first match. Yeah.
How was playing at the college level different immediately than playing a high school match?
It's just a much quicker pace, and everything is much more intense than at the high school and club levels, just because all the plays are so much faster and you have to react quicker to everything. So.
Eastern Kentucky has a new head coach. She was an assistant for 5 years in Johnna Fouch, and so the team gets her first head coaching win against Gardner-Webb, the first win of the season. That was a really nice one, I'm sure, to celebrate. What was it like in the locker room after the game?
It was really fun. Everyone was so excited, and it was just like everyone just was in a good mood after. It was just really nice to get that win for Johnna for her first time.
Anything special for her? Just a little celebration?
Just a little celebration, yeah.
Yeah, because in volleyball, you play usually 2 games one day and then 1 game the other day, and so it's a busy weekend. That pace, is it different playing 2 games in one day?
I think recently, yes, because for club, I would play a couple games in one day because we had tournaments, but now I haven't done that in a while, so you just have to get used to it now, other than just like 1 2-hour practice a day.
In the win over Gardner-Webb, you led the team with 24 kills, also had 23 digs. How did you become an outside hitter? I mean, how did that become your position?
I think when I was younger, I kind of played everywhere, and it just took me a while to kind of get the feel for what I wanted to do, and I just always was the most successful at outside, and so yeah.
So Eastern Kentucky is where you come. You're a graphic design major. Why that major, and what, you've got a long road here ahead of you, 4 years in college, but what do you want to do with that major?
Maybe something like advertisement or some kind of marketing with it. I've just always been more interested in the creative work fields, so I wanted to do something with that.
Coming to college, mom's not in the next room and say, hey, Mom, put some, tater tots in the oven for me or anything. So how's that transition been, being on your own and having to be a true adult now?
It's different, but it's nice that I'm here playing a sport because I always have teammates to support me rather than just coming on my own without anyone. And I'm living with one of the other volleyball freshmen, and we're always together, so I depend on her for a lot of things too, so it's nice.
We had Coach Fouch on the show last week, and she said trying to mitigate the travel. And I mean, Charlotte, now Asheville, that's travel, but they went out to the West Coast last year and were gone a long time. And so combining that travel with studies and practice and all that, how have you dealt with that, and how do you feel like it's working for you?
It's stressful at first, but once I realized that you think you don't have that much time, but there's a lot of hours in the day where I'm off. Like after practice, we're done at 6, so I have the whole evening to get my work done, and then we have long bus trips too. So I did a lot of work on the bus last week on the way to North Carolina. You
know what I find? The busier you are, the better organized you are. I mean, if you're busy all the time, it just seems to work better. Are you sensing that already?
Yeah, I already know like what my plan is for the day, and I have everything organized. So I leave my dorm and then come back after practice, so I have all my stuff together for the day.
So you have 3 games this weekend in Asheville, and then an in-state rival, Western Kentucky. That's got to be a fun one coming up as well.
I'm excited for that one. Yeah, I haven't seen Western play. I'm not really sure what kind of team they are, but I think it'll be a fun in-state match. Yeah.
Okay, Abby, it was great to meet you. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And the Cardinals will eventually, after 10 games, get home, and you can catch Abby and all the other teammates of hers on the Alumni Coliseum court. Well, here is what will happen in the UNC Asheville tournament. They'll play the host team Friday night at 6:30, then 2 games Saturday against Dartmouth of the Ivy League, and then out of the MEAC, North Carolina A&T, then on the Bowling Green to take on Western next Tuesday. That does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. You can like and follow all of the Cardinal athletic teams by going to all these social media pages, and we'll see you right here next week. And as always, go Big E.